right, good morning. This morning I'm going to take up a new item. I have built real small, real quick planter walls, but today I'm going to take up building a retaining wall. Several years ago I bought a fire pit kit. I found an open and fairly level place in this, what we call this Tristan's garden. Anyway, this was where an old big hickory tree used to be, and it covered this whole area. It was a big tree, but when lightning hit it a few times, termites came in and attacked it, and just it had to be cut down. So we just started planting different plants there, covering this thing up, and kind of turned it into a garden. We put a fire pit in here. Well, anyway, you may not be able to tell on the video, but we've actually put 4 chairs in here. We put 2 of them over here, 1 here, and 1 here. But we can't really do anything on this side because of the slope. Well, a good friend of mine, Matt, had some extra 61 extra blocks, retaining wall blocks that he didn't use, and I came and picked them up. And so anyway, I don't know if I have completely enough to finish, but I have enough to get started. And I'm going to build a wall here to kind of allow me to level this out. I bought a couple bags. Actually, I've got 4 bags, including some over on the other side of the yard, a patio paver base. Now what I've done is I've lined out right at 6 feet. It goes a little bit wider here because I figure the chairs will sit out here. There'll be no chairs sitting here. Because we go down to the path, there probably won't be much elevation change. It'll just be leveled. Instead of doing this way, it'll be this way. So there won't be any chairs here, but I would like to put a chair here, maybe a chair here, and another chair over there. First thing I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna relocate this plant here, and I'm gonna move it just a couple of feet back. I'm gonna give it some room to grow. I'm gonna dig out the soil, probably go down, they say you wanna go down 1 paver block with your base. So, you know, that's probably about 6 inches, go about 4 or 5 inches down. And then start the first line. First line will probably just consist of this area here. And then as the grade goes up the hill, you know, the next line will begin and stuff like that. Anyway, I've got the paver blocks. I've got my level, I've got a shovel, I've got a small hoe, a square shovel to help level out what I'm gonna make. And we'll see how much of this I can get done on a Sunday before the sun gets out and it's too hot to work outside. Day 3 on the fire pit area. Day 1 I started the retaining wall and I ran it along the side here. Put a little bit of gravel down there in the bottom. Day 2 I decided I was going to build some steps here. Anyway, that was something that we just decided at the last minute. So I went out, I kind of tested the idea of putting steps like this in. Looks like that's going to work. I'm going to have to go out and buy some more material before I finish up the steps. But today I'm going to concentrate on, first of all, I'm going to put a drain right here. So as the water comes down, it'll drain underneath that brick and just go out. All right, and this right here is a little pipe contraption that I made. Actually, I had some PVC pipe that I use for underground electrical stuff that was 1/2 inch. But anyway, this is off of a soccer goal, a broken soccer goal. And so I put some metal wrapping around it to prevent the rocks and from getting in there and getting stuck. And the idea is I'm just gonna dig that out and just stick that in there, and that'll allow it to drain. Well, today I got a delivery of all kinds of material. This is the most material I've ever gotten at one time. I usually go to Home Depot and buy a bag here, a bag there. But anyway, I found a location where I could buy it. They call this a cubic yard. So the plan is I'm going to go ahead and start with the gravel and put the gravel up against the retaining wall that allows for drainage to come out. So I'll put some gravel down as filler. I'm going to put the fill dirt in, pack that down, and then I'll put gravel on top of that to make the base for the fire pit. Anyway, we've kind of stopped working on our fire pit area, and we've had a lot of rain and busy and kind of allowing the budget to recover a little bit. But we're going to try to do a final push on some of the small things of the patio. Going to go out to Home Depot. One of the things I found is that weeds grow through this pretty easily. And so one thing I'm going to do, which I did not do over in this section here, I may actually, in the areas where the soil comes pretty close, I may actually just basically move that rock and put some weed barrier down. But I'm going to go ahead and put weed barrier down here. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put the weed cloth in to lay it down, then put the gravel back on top of it. I've got a hole, I've got some gravel there, and I'm trying not to kill myself making it up the hill. But I bought a cubic yard of gravel, 57 gravel, to put in this place. So this right here, the gravel goes all the way down to the ground. So I'm probably not going to put the weed cloth, but around this area here near the fire pit, and then especially on the other side, there are weeds that always grow there. I pretty much almost finished the fire pit. The only thing that's left, I went to Home Depot, got a little slight section there. I need to run basically the oval over, and finish this part out. I ran both electrical and plumbing out. I ran the plumbing. You can actually see the plumbing pipe right there. Anyway, I ran that so that I could put, I may put a plant here or a plant here. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically run a piece of plumbing. I'll put a T here, run the plumbing up here to pick up these plants along here, and then just run it along here so that when I plant, I'll probably put like a bush or another plant along here, 1 or 2 new plants here. And I'm going to pick up this pipe that runs underneath here. It actually runs to right there. I'm just going to splice it and run it this way as opposed to up there. As far as the electrical, I'll run a real short, basically a flood lamp that'll shine up and show the rock. I started the project without actually starting the GoPro video. Pretty bad for me. But anyway, as you can see, I'm finishing up the walkway up to the new fire pit area, and I'm using some of the older, larger stones taken down. Those stones are about $8 a piece. We have a big problem here with termites, where termites are eating these pieces of wood. I went to Lowe's because I needed the final 2 bags of lava rock to finish this area up, and Home Depot says they're unavailable and does not have a time when they're going to come back in. So I went to Lowe's. I found these right here. These look pretty similar, but they're made out of concrete. And so anyway, assuming water doesn't get in these and then they crack. I've known some concrete items, water will get to them every few years and it'll crack when it freezes. One thing I did find is I put them all in and then realized there's a top side to them. There's a little bit of a bevel at the top. So I went back through and actually re-put them in. But anyway, I finished what I'm going to do with this part of the path here. So I'm just going to finish basically tamping the rocks down. I leveled it out as best as I could. This whole area is not level, which is why there's the retaining wall. But anyway, it's not 100% level, but it's pretty good. And then I put some sand underneath there, some paving sand, and hammered it in pretty good. And then I'm just going to put the lava rock down. I had a drip irrigation line that ran actually between here and went to there. And I'm actually rerouting it. I'm going to run it along the bottom of the retaining wall and then go along the top. It actually, when I ran the retaining wall, I went ahead and ran it. Well, this is a low voltage lighting. But anyway, the irrigation line runs beneath the stone, comes out right here. So anyway, I just cut that little bridge off and actually going to extend it. So, and it runs along the edge here, just in case for some reason we decide down the roads we want to put baskets and stuff. When I was doing the fire pit, I actually ripped out some existing drip irrigation line, and I just ran this 1/4-inch tube to all these plants along here. I'm going to go ahead and run the 1/2-inch line to right here, and then I'll branch out to each one of these plants from here. I'm going to take it right here, a T in here, extend it this way, continue it this way, and then where I think I'm going to put a plant, I'll probably put a plant here, one here, and probably put another plant like right here. So I'll go ahead and make two taps into it. And then I've got, this is the lava rock right here, and then I've got 4 more of those concrete retaining sections. And I'm gonna go ahead, I never really kind of came up with a way of ending this. It kind of is a metal circular area. I'm gonna put another one of those blocks there and then turn it out so it comes this way. And I'll just use up the rest of those to fix this area up. And then once it's done, if I have time, I'll run and grab some pine straw and I'll relay pine straw down in this area here just to make it ready and get ready for tonight's party at 6 o'clock. actually left, and right here I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to leave a little bit of a loop. I left a little bit of ground opening, and that will allow me some drip irrigation connection points. And then right here, and in one other place, I'm going to leave a loop because I'm going to have a light that shines on the wall to light up the wall. Provide drip irrigation for this plant. That tree actually already gets it, but I'll probably put another one for that tree. I'll provide drip irrigation here, and I'm going to continue running this drip irrigation up to the next set of plants. Be very careful not to get dirt. And just basically see how it's going to be, and then look and see how much the flange is on there. Make the cut. I don't want to have too much pipe, because if I have too much pipe, then it will be, then it'll push up above the ground. Now, even though these lights are AC, polarity matters with some manufacturers and doesn't matter with others. I like to maintain the proper polarity. So, one side of this cable actually has like a little bit of it's one side is rounded and the other side has like a little notch, a line that goes through it. And I, out of convention, has always done the one that has the notch as the negative side, and the one that's rounded does not have the notch as the positive side. So, working with the spring. Alright. Well, the connection is made, and I'm going to just probably bury that in there just like that. I'll probably come back and actually wrap that in electrical tape. I don't have any with me right now, but I'll actually stick a big rock over areas where I make a connection. So I'll do that right there. So when I put the pine straw in, I've actually marked where I have a splice made, so I can easily find it down the road. Gonna go out, get some pine straw, and put the pine straw down, and then that'll look like it's always been there. Better created this angle here, so the rocks are held in place. It's a permanent solution as opposed to just putting a stone. Over here, I'm gonna go buy a couple more retaining blocks. I'll bring the retaining block to here, and then I'll do the same thing. I'll get some of those and just start working the path down that way, concentrating on that side first. Both in a lighting circuit and a water drip irrigation circuit in here, so I can actually real quickly splice these plants in. Probably take me 15-20 minutes to do that. I'm gonna build a stream, buy some river stone, dig it out a little bit more so the water that comes out of the fire pit area and lounge area can just go through the rocks, and this is the lower point, and it'll just go through the rocks and then stream down. So I'll kind of create like a little decorative stream here that will actually serve a purpose as far as getting rid of the water. Pine straw, and be ready to throw it down and finish this retaining wall project. It's been fun. The light's down there working to shine on the wall. I'll get another one for that side there. I've got this light working right there. So anyway, we got the lights running.